Last time I asked a Dalek if there's anything in my eye. Hi everyone, welcome back to You Know Who. I'm your host, the man on the TARDIS blue couch, Brian Hines. And like every other episode, I'm very late getting this review out. So let's celebrate February with a review of the Christmas episode. This is Joy to the World. At several points across time and space, a hotel in the World War II British Blitz, Mount Everest, and even the Orient Express, the Doctor enters, offering the occupants a ham and cheese toastie and a pumpkin latte before leaving. In 2024 London, a young woman named Joy checks into a small hotel on Christmas Eve. The hotel manager, Anita, shows her around and she notices that door, the one in every hotel room that doesn't lead anywhere. Anita goes to get towels when that door opens and in walks a Silurian. Joy pulls a hairdryer on him and it repeats,
"The starseed will bloom, and the flesh will rise."
What?
In the year 4202, London, Christmas time, the TARDIS materializes in a fancy hotel. The Doctor walks out, sleepy yawning and holding two mugs, passing a man who has a briefcase handcuffed to his wrist. He pours some milk out of a refreshment station before being stopped by Trev, hotel security. He questions who the Doctor is and why he has two mugs.
Never get used to them leaving. Here. Keep the mug, it's bigger on the inside.
No, not a holiday episode without the companion where the Doctor makes an immediate mention about missing the companion. No! I'm fine. But before he realizes it, he's dressed with a sonic screwdriver ready to go. But why? He saw something that set his instincts off. The man with the briefcase. He steps back out and recruits Trev via psychic paper. The man with the briefcase is behaving strangely, ignoring the phenomenal view even though it's supposedly his first time at the Time Hotel! Every door here leads to a different hotel room scattered across all of human history. The Doctor gets a menu and orders room service. An instant later, he gets his pumpkin latte and ham and cheese toastie. The Doctor's going to check out the hotel while Trev stays here to wait for the briefcase man to leave the hotel bar. In the bar, the man repeats to the bartender, the starseed will bloom, and the yada yada yada. The handcuff then releases itself and attaches to the bartender, citing an access upgrade. The bartender tells the previous courier to sit down. He'll be dead soon. The bartender calls Trev in and the briefcase attaches to him as the first courier disintegrates, followed by the bartender. We begin to follow the Doctor on his route through time and hotel rooms as Trev approaches a Silurian behind the counter. He sheepishly asks if the Silurian can confirm he has priority access to all the rooms. Of course, he's the manager. Access upgrading. The manager walks past the Doctor who spies the briefcase. He contacts Trev, who is collapsing at the bar.
Oh dear. I went and let him down.
Yes, Trev, you failed him. Now die, knowing that your only purpose in the story remains incomplete. I'm so sorry. I'm just in a dark place today. You know what it is? This reminds me of that time I stayed at a hotel and everyone died. Where was it? The Overlook? No. It was the Muncie Motel 6. I need to get back there someday. The Doctor enters Joy's room. Now we're all caught up. The Doctor wants to know what is going on. So does Joy. The briefcase handcuff unlocks and the Silurian offers it to the Doctor. If he takes it, all will be made clear. Okay, Joy's had enough. She takes the briefcase and the handcuff attaches to her wrist. The Silurian manager asks, what's going on? Joy tells him he'll be dead shortly and grabs his passkey. The Doctor tries to talk to the Silurian, but he quickly expires. He wants to know what the starseed is and forces the case open. It seems to be some sort of energy contained in a sphere. They close the case lest Joy get disintegrated, but then another lock opens. They have to enter a 4-digit code to seal it again. Understanding that there is a time hotel on the other side of that door, the Doctor shouts, "Come in!" And the Doctor, a second one, enters, giving him the code. New Doctor takes Joy into the hotel, leaving old Doctor behind.
Where do I go?
You will find out.
Oh, do you see? This is why nobody likes you. You have to be mysterious all the time. That's why everyone leaves you. That is why you were always alone.
Now the Doctor realizes he can't get back to the time hotel from this moment. If he wants to get back to Christmas time at the hotel, he'll have to wait till Christmas rolls around next year. He hits up the manager, Anita, for a job. The Doctor goes to work in the non-time hotel, serving food, doing handyman work, and even...
Is this armed?
The Doctor's collecting miniature police boxes and still trying to work out what was inside the briefcase. But realizing he might need to slow down, he offers Anita a chair. Thus begins a weekly hangout games night, investigating the hotel's other doors, cocktails on the balcony. Eventually, Christmas rolls around and the doctor is ready to leave. Anita and he say their goodbyes.
I don't usually live like this. One day after the other, in the right order.
Except for all the times that you did, like when the third Doctor was exiled to Earth and couldn't use his TARDIS. The 11th Doctor lived with Amy and Rory for a while, then later he spent hundreds of years on Trenzalore protecting the town of Christmas. Then the 12th Doctor spent 24 years with River Song. But no! Keep telling us how you've never lived a normal life day to day. Anita always knew he would go, but he never has to be alone on Christmas. She'll always be here if he wants to stop in. The Doctor heads to a much fancier hotel and enters its third door, literally walking out across from Joy's room. He waits to hear his invitation and relives saving Joy and himself before exiting with Joy and leaving his past self to live out a year with Anita. He has the code by hearing it from himself 1 year ago, and yes, that answer came out of thin air, but hey, it worked. The briefcase reestablishes control for Joy. The Doctor has realized that the starseed is just that, the birth of a star. But no one has ever been able to grow a star because it would take too long to see results. Unless you had access to time travel. But the Doctor has also had time to think about Joy. Joy's happy demeanor starts to crack as the Doctor explains how hotel rooms are the bare minimum of what we need and accept. And if her hotel room on Christmas Eve was the smallest, most miserable hotel room available, then what does that say about her? Do people laugh at her when she introduces herself? Did her mother name her Joy as a joke? This snapped Joy's out of it. Her mother died in a hospital during the COVID pandemic. As such, Joy couldn't even be there and had to say goodbye via tablet. Joy and the Doctor enter a new room, a sort of tropical bamboo tree fort.
I can never be with anyone on Christmas Day because I let her down. I let her down on the last day of her life on Christmas Day. I can never change that. I can never change it.
Yes, know that you failed your dying mother when she needed you. What is wrong with me? I am so sorry. This Christmas episode can be maudlin, but it should never be this dark. Please, just ignore me. Pretend you're a YouTube algorithm. The Doctor points out that the briefcase has detached itself. He had to upset Joy to break the connection. It might seem cruel, but there's no bad way to save someone's life. She could see herself as a star. It was beautiful. The Doctor unlocks the briefcase. It belongs to Valengard, the weapons manufacturer behind the mines and roving hospital robots from the episode Boom. The briefcase's interface is the uploaded intelligence of the manager. The Doctor begins ranting and misses the hotel room shaking. They need so very long to get a star to bloom, say, 65 million years? It swallows the briefcase, which takes over its mind. Joy and the Doctor book it back into the time hotel. If the case is 65 million years in the past, then it's ready to burst. But Valengard doesn't want to burn Earth, so they need to collect the case. But how to find it? The Doctor's sonic buzzes.
Hello, sir. Trev Simpkins, reporting for duty.
Trev!
When Trev's consciousness was downloaded into the briefcase, he kept hold of his promise to help the Doctor no matter what. They need to go to room 48. Room 48 is apparently the Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom themed honeymoon suite. The briefcase's psychic field seems to repossess Joy. But there isn't really time to worry about that as they have just 5 minutes before the star detonates. They need rope. The Doctor heads back to Mount Everest, grabbing some from the expedition. He runs the rope through the Orient Express, latching onto a nearby mountain as the train speeds by. This dislodges the stone door containing the briefcase. Joy is exposed to the starseed. She comforts it, telling it she wants it to live. As the Doctor heads back, he tells the female passenger to dump whomever wrote that love letter she keeps reading. It's terribly written.
I wrote this letter.
Great letter, you should send it to him.
To her.
Glad I could help.
Terrible sentence structure and amateur writing. Sounds like someone found one of my old Knights of the Old Republic fanfics. Bastila looked up and over. Before her stood the evil Sith Lord standing evilly. Revan, the Force is with me, he said. He gets back to 48, but the starseed and Joy are gone. The opened obelisk containing a staircase leading up. Joy is glowing. No, she's not pregnant. She absorbed the starseed into her body. It's in all of them. All of them are in it. Everyone possessed by the briefcase now lives on in the star. The Doctor can't let Valengard live, but the starseed is far out of their reach now. Joy will go to space and become one with the star, shining in the night sky for an eternity. Joy tells the Doctor he was right about her sad hotel room, but he lived in it for a year. What does that say about him? He needs to change as well. Time to find a new friend. Joy rises into the night sky, turning into energy and flying into space. All the denizens of the various hotel rooms connected to the Time Hotel look out into the night and see Joy the star. They have hope for a better world. Even Ruby Sunday is watching Joy. Back in the doctor's old hotel, Anita's cleaning up when a third door opens. A woman steps through with a job offer for Anita. She comes highly recommended. Via tablet, Joy is talking to her dying mother in hospice. She turns to see the star and begins to glow, joining her daughter in the heavens. The doctor looks out over his surroundings before wishing this time joy to the world. In the background, we see 3 wise men and their camels around a fire with a small town named Bethlehem back in the distance. And that's joy to the world. Joy? Well, at the very least, it was a bit of an inconsequential lark with possible ramifications for the future. But was this joy a buzzkill? Let's take a closer look. So this was a strange choice for a Christmas story. In fact, it might well be the least Christmassy Doctor Who Christmas story yet. We really only get a bit of religious Christmas at the very end. Otherwise, there's no real decorations of note, no mention of, hey, it's Christmas, or even any subtle nods to other famous Christmas stories like In a Christmas Carol, which remains my favorite of the Doctor Who holiday specials. R.I.P. Michael Gambon. So it has to be said, Joy is not a great companion. I'll give the actress credit. Nicola Coughlan portrays Joy the way she's presented. A lovable loser. The sort of puppy dog who's always smiling even when life is kicking her down. Her best scene is obviously the one where she gets angry at the doctor, and it's really the only time it feels like Coughlan does any heavy lifting acting-wise. Otherwise, Joy is just sort of there. Which is about all I can really say of her in this episode. She's just sort of there. Far better as a companion was Steph Diwali as Anita, the hotel manager. Really, my favorite part of this story was the fast forward through the year the doctor spends in the hotel, growing a genuine friendship with her. Their farewell at the end was a bit heartbreaking as you get the feeling they really were kindred spirits. Loners hiding from the world in this small hotel. Perhaps even better than Anita was Joel Fry as Trev. While the character is played as somewhat incompetent, he's also portrayed as incredibly sincere. Surprisingly, eagerness and sincerity are much more difficult to convey in a short time than, say, pessimism and sarcasm. But Fry pulls it off nicely. I was so sad that we lost him so early, but it brings up the old question of will we ever get a solo series of Doctor Who with a male companion and a male doctor? It's one of the few things this show still has to do. Okay, 12th Doctor Nardole, but really, that was one episode before Bill showed up. And while the Time Hotel itself is an amusing concept, it's very flawed as a plot device. So you're saying a luxury hotel has access to every major time point in human history, but Valangard, arguably the universe's biggest weapons manufacturer, does not. They have no access to time travel. The only way that works is if the Time Hotel is in Valangard's distant future and they discover it accidentally, but we never hear anything about that as the company is kept in the background of this episode. A boogeyman we never confront, though it does raise the question, are they going to be a recurring enemy for Ncuti's Doctor? Also, what is the flesh in The Flesh Will Rise? Or was that just a metaphor for Joy floating away at the end? Made me think of the Rebel flesh from the Matt Smith era, but Ncuti was fine, no complaints, but Doctor Who needs to stop going to the I don't know how to live a linear life thing with the Doctor whenever they want to make him interesting. He's lived a linear life so many times now. Overall, Joy to the World isn't a bad story, but it's wildly uneven. It has a very quick start, a long, slow middle, then picks up again for an ending that hits full stop just as things are getting good. Some very good performances with some very uneven writing. My friends, thank you for joining me. Before you leave, can I ask that you please like this video, subscribe to my channel, click the bell for notifications, and please check out my Patreon page. It's patrons like you who help these videos get made. And knowing that I bring joy to the world whenever one of my late reviews finally drops, and even more joy when it finally ends, I'll see you back here at the TARDIS Blue Couch next time for more You Know Who. I'm your host, Brian Hines.